What is your name, sir?
My name is SunTek Chung.
How old are you?
Nice try. My first memory of making art was probably with my father. He's an artist. He used to do a lot more formal work, sculpture and painting. He's pretty awesome. He's very talented. So you know, I always had that when I was growing up.
When did you start getting into working in more three-dimensional mediums?
I guess I always kind of had. I always kind of worked in three-dimensional, work. I guess I got, of course, I probably became more intense, here at Virginia Commonwealth University when I was in the sculpture department as an undergrad. It's definitely a maker school, as opposed to like maybe other colleges that may, encourage more of a theory-based. I'm not saying that they don't use, teach theory here, but. It's very much about like, hands-on, how to build this, how to mold this, how to video, and, there's always a lot of technical help in it.
When you go into constructing a piece, do you go in with a concept and then flesh it out, or what's the construction of the piece? How do you go about starting a piece?
When I start out a piece, well, how it evolves is sort of like as an idea first, just on paper, and then, the time in which it's the initial concept to eventual shooting it in a photograph or making the sculpture usually is kind of a long time. So there's a lot of pieces that are constantly being worked on in my mind or on paper, so they have a lot of time to evolve. And what was that question again?
I don't remember. I guess we were talking about the construction of a piece. Like, how does it evolve?
Oh, just slowly by like little bit by bit, and it can completely change from the original idea. It depends. It could be like watching a movie, something, or television, or just running into some kind of jerk or smartass or very intelligent individual that may kind of bring about certain ideas. And then where they go from there, they usually get pretty abstracted. So most of my work up till now has been, I'd say, photography, and then and sculptures here and there, and some video occasionally, and maybe very rare some performance. The photos are usually like large constructed sets, like that one back there, there's usually a backdrop, and then the set's constructed with props, costume, and so forth. And there's usually an interaction with me and someone else, usually another artist friend. And the idea is somewhat slightly, it's kind of based a little bit on their own work also, inspired, you could say. And then, I myself do a lot of things like, I'll grow out some facial hair, or grow out my hair, or gain or lose weight, or, or go to the gym to get all, muscly or something like that.
So you place yourself as a character in most of your pieces?
Yes, yes. But they never, a lot of people say like, that's you, but I don't really think of it as myself in there. I think of it as characters that I've created that aren't really anything to do with my own life. I don't usually strap on dynamite or have an office job pulling Excalibur out of a monitor.
No, you would not go over.
The narratives in my work, they'll usually have like a kind of like one main kind of idea with like a lot of other things going on, like, and everything has its placement to this, there's a lot of details I like to think of it as, or maybe like little gems inside, like there's a photo in which I'm on a raft with a friend of mine, a bamboo raft, and we're flying away. And just to say, like, the costumes that we have is a combination of Huckleberry Finn and Bruce Lee's movie Game of Death. So it's like just the costume itself, and then just smaller little things like a pipe falling out of my mouth, or a noose that he's holding as using as the reins for this raft. This noose that was sort of an image of the impending doom or death of Jim in Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Your work also deals with Asian culture and stereotyping of Asian culture. You being Asian, of course.
I am Asian.
Can you comment on that or elaborate on that a little bit?
Most artists tend to work with what they, who they are, and to a certain extent, and what they deal with, and or what they see, or what's on their mind and their concerns. As far as Asian culture, I would, it's kind of hard to explain in certain ways.
Cream some young guy.
Fuck you, Parker.
So, I guess in general, and I'm sure it varies piece to piece, but how long does it take you to construct a piece?
Well, this head right here was done in 3 days.
And you usually have a lot of people assisting you, and you're kind of directing them the whole time on...
Usually it's just me, maybe a couple other guys. But for this piece right here, it's taken, there's a lot of guys. Buddha's head, decapitated, sort of like as if the head's been pulled off of Buddha. And that over there is like the guts that are in the spine that will eventually be placed together with both of these. It's kind of like the process we have to do in 2 parts.
So what else is going to be done to the head? What's the finished head going to look like?
It'll be a cold bronze process. You take bronze powder and this chemical Forton, you paint it in, so you don't have to actually take it to a foundry and pour scalding hot metal in it, which wouldn't be bad to do. It would just cost, I don't know, $250,000, $500,000, so it's a little out of my budget. So, but the process looks just like bronze, and it is bronze, because the powder, you can polish it up and patina it, and yeah, so it'll look like a big bronze Buddha head. Well, we're making 2 of these from this casting. One will be in New York on November 11th at a gallery, call it Blanchard Gallery, on the Lower East Side, Clinton Street, just west of Houston. Should be a fun opening. If you want to come up. And the other will be during the art fairs in Miami. That'll be
December, right?
Yes, beginning of December. And then the MoMA wants a copy.
Yeah.
No.
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 Not yet.